All right, so every month I try to put together my list of closest clones, and these are going to be clones that are at least about 90% close to the original fragrances that they're cloning. And so here again today, I have another top 5 list. And just to get straight into it, I'm going to start the list off with, I would say, probably one of my favorite fragrances that I picked up here recently. And this one is going to be Fragrance World's Cherry Incense. All right. So this is Fragrance World's take on Tom Ford's Cherry Smoke. And, you know, as stated in like the previous video, this one is going to be at least about 95% close pretty much to the original Tom Ford Cherry Smoke. So the main difference that I noticed was like in the immediate opening, the cherry that you get from the Tom Ford, that comes off as just being, I would say, just a couple percent, you know, more, I guess, richer or, you know, higher quality. But I would say pretty much after that, like initial opening, the two fragrances are pretty much indistinguishable from each other. And I mean, this one also gives you very good performance as well. So it's going to be at least, I would say, about 7 to 8 plus hours. And again, the fragrances pretty much outside of that initial opening spray are pretty much identical. So I would definitely recommend to anyone that is, you know, anyone that likes Tom Ford's Cherry Smoke, I would definitely recommend Cherry Incense instead. And again, this is Fragrance World's Cherry Incense. All right, so next one up is going to be from the house of Lattafa, and this is part of their Lattafa Pride line. This is their take on Initial's Paragon, and this is Vintage Radio from Lattafa. All right, so I'm not a huge fan of these bottles at all. It looks like all of the like sort of newer Lattafa Pride fragrances, they all come in these types of bottles. I really don't like the way that these look at all, but definitely the juice, at least in this fragrance, is very, very good. So this to me comes off as being, I would say, just a slightly sort of spicier take on Initial's Paragon. This also, I would say, is a little bit stronger than what Paragon is as well in terms of like the projection. But in terms of like the overall smell, I would say that this is also at least about probably 95% close pretty much to Paragon. So I was kind of on the fence about whether or not I wanted to purchase Paragon or not. When I got my initial sample of that fragrance, I sprayed it on a couple of times and I wasn't like crazy about it. But I think after, you know, wearing this fragrance, this one actually allowed me to kind of appreciate the scent profile a little bit more than I did initially. So I'm definitely happy with the fact that I have this fragrance here. This is definitely another one of those kind of mood boosting fragrances, I would say. So if you're, you know, looking for a really close alternative to Initial's Paragon for really cheap, then I would absolutely say pick up Vintage Radio. And again, this is Vintage Radio from Lattafa. All right, so the next one is also going to be from Fragrance World, and this is Fragrance World's take on Dior Sauvage Elixir. This is going to be Enigma Une. All right, so Enigma Une, this is very, very close to Sauvage Elixir. I would say like about 92% close pretty much to Sauvage Elixir. The main difference is this is not as strong as Sauvage Elixir is in the like immediate opening. Sauvage Elixir definitely has more of sort of like a brute sort of punch to it, you know, that it has in terms of how it projects. It definitely is stronger than, you know, what the Fragrance World version is. And also I would say the way that the notes kind of come across in Sauvage Elixir, it is slightly more sort of sparkly, in my opinion, than what it is in Enigma Une. But pretty much once you get past, I would say probably like the first, probably 45 minutes to an hour or so, that's when Sauvage Elixir and Enigma Une, they're pretty much about the same strength for the most part. And this is not going to be like another one of those like side clones or whatnot. where, it's more of kind of like a vanillic sort of touch on the scent profile. No, this is definitely, pretty true to the original scent profile, where it has more of sort of like that licorice note that pops out. So this is definitely going to be a good alternative. I would say probably the best alternative that I've smelled to Sauvage Elixir so far has been Alexandria Fragrances at Sauvage Elixir. So that one definitely had the same sort of strength, at least from what I remember, that Sauvage Elixir had. And pretty much it was, I would say almost identical in terms of smell. So definitely, again, man, if you're looking for a pretty cheap alternative to Sauvage Elixir that is pretty true to the scent profile, then definitely check out Fragrance World's Enigma Une. All right, so the next one up, this is going to be a Bond Number 9 clone, and this is cloning Bond Number 9's Lafayette Street. And this is going to be from Grandeur Elite, and this is Avenue, New York. All right, so Avenue, New York, I would say this is going to be about 90% close pretty much to Bond Number 9 Lafayette Street. The main differences that I get from this fragrance is this one, it comes off as being slightly more denser than Lafayette Street, just a tad bit sweeter. And I would say that like the florals, the coriander, and the apple in Lafayette Street, they do seem to be a little bit more, I would say, higher quality than what you get in the Avenue, New York, which is to be expected. I mean, the Lafayette Street, I believe, is like, it probably goes for around $300 for 100 ml. Whereas this Grandeur Elite fragrance, this goes for like $30 for 100 ml. So, obviously you're not going to get the exact same quality, but I do feel like this fragrance, it comes at least about 90% close. And it definitely, it doesn't leave anything for, to be desired for me. It doesn't make me want to go out and buy like the original fragrance. This is definitely going to be more of kind of like a winter and fall sort of fragrance. It's really sort of, I would say it's sweet, it's floral, it's spicy, it's ambery, pretty much. That's the best way to kind of describe this particular fragrance. So definitely, if that's something that you like, I would say absolutely check this one out. And again, this is going to be Avenue, New York by Grandeur Elite. All right, so the last fragrance on the list, this is going to be also another Fragrance World fragrance, and this is their take on Initio's Musk Therapy. It's their newest take anyway. This is Intro Ivory Musk. All right, so Intro Ivory Musk, this is, I would say, definitely, without a doubt, this is stronger than the Glorious Oud Royal Blanc, which, I know for like the longest time that fragrance was extremely hard to find for like the last several years or so. And so now they've released this version, which it's kind of funny that this one is actually stronger than the Royal Blanc, the Glorious Oud Royal Blanc. That one was actually an extrait concentration, and this one is an eau de parfum, and this one is actually stronger than the Royal Blanc. So this one, I would say, is also going to be about 90% close pretty much to Musk Therapy. The main differences that I pick up between this is this has like an extra sort of added spice to it. I'm not sure if it's something like cinnamon or something like that, but it has like an extra sort of added spice to it that Musk Therapy really, I would say, doesn't necessarily have. Also, I feel like the black currant in this fragrance is also sort of amped up a little bit, or a little bit more than what it is in Musk Therapy. And the sandalwood note is not as creamy or as lactonic, in this fragrance as what it is in the original Musk Therapy. This also, though, I would say this projects a little bit stronger than what Musk Therapy itself does. So that was definitely something that I was, surprised with. In terms of the longevity, I'm still kind of testing that out. I know Musk Therapy is definitely a really long lasting fragrance, 12 plus hours easily. But this one, like I said, this does give you a little bit, stronger projection when you initially spray it on than what you get with Musk Therapy. So I would say This is a slightly, in my opinion, sort of more masculine leaning take on Musk therapy, while at the same time still being pretty true to the original scent profile. So I would definitely recommend this one over the Glorious Oud Royal Blanc for sure. I absolutely would. So definitely check this one out. Again, this is going to be Fragrance World's Intro Ivory Musk. All right, so that is the list. That's the list of my top 5 closest clones for the month of April 2024. So definitely let me know if you all have smelled any of these fragrances on this list. And if so, how close do you think that these fragrances actually come to their original counterparts? All right. So let me know in the comments, and also to anyone that's brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. Once we get to that point, I'll be giving away 2 fragrances. One being the I want to say it's called Just Eyes Wide from Fragrance World. It's Fragrance World's clone of Lattafa's Assad. So I'll be giving away that fragrance, as well as Lattafa's Kayed Intense, which is their version of Givenchy Gentleman, Reserve Privé. So I'll have both of those fragrances up for, a giveaway pretty much once we hit 5,000 subscribers. All you have to do to be able to qualify is you just need to be a subscriber of the YouTube channel Vegas Scents. You need to be following the Vegas Scents TikTok and Instagram. And then I'll definitely, once I actually get to 5,000 subscribers, I'll kind of do a giveaway video, and you all just need to comment pretty much on that video to be able to enter, the giveaway. Also, you do need to be a resident of the United States as well. I know I have a lot of international viewers as well, but this is only going to be for US residents only. All right. So definitely leave a like and a comment on this video. And once again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see y'all in the next video.